Well, folks, I'm back. Went on a little vacation, saw some family, did some work, remodeled a bathroom. I'm aching. So let's play a game, shall we? Looks like today's puzzle is medium. Get our timer started here. Start looking at some numbers, and I see some 9s right off the bat here to the left, top row, middle row. And we've got a 9 in the right column, so we know this one is our 9. We've got a 9 now that we just put in is in the middle column, and we know this one here in the right column, so we know these two are going to be our 9s. Let's look here in this center cube. We've got a 9 right down the middle column, so it can be the left or the right. We have got a lot of things beeping, and let's see here. 9 goes down the center. Lots of choices in this cube. 9 down the center, 9 across the middle row. Lots of choices in this particular row. Now I'm looking in this cube here, and I see this 6, and I see this 6, and I see this 7, and I see this 7. So I'm going to bring that down to this cube that's missing a lot of numbers. I got a 6 on the left, a 6 in the middle, a 6 in the middle row. Just leaves one spot left for the 6. We've got a 7 in the left, we've got a 7 in the right, and we've got a 7 across the bottom. Now I do have a 7 here, which is going to tell me that the 7 has to be here, which gives me a ghost row. So no 7 across the top, no 7 across the bottom, left and right columns. So we know this is our 7. Alright, following these 7s through here, 7 across the top, 7 across the middle, 7 through the center. So we know we've got our 7 there. We've got a 7 through the center column, right column, and through the middle row. There is our 7. And in this last cube, we've got a 7 across the top, 7 across the middle, 7 across the left. Gives us 2 choices still for our 7. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of 5s that are jumbling in my mind here. Got a 5 in this right column, a 5 across the bottom, 5 across the top. Tells me we've got 2 choices for the 5 here. We've got a 5 across the middle, 5 across the right. Tells us we've got 2 choices for 5s in this cube. We've got a 5 across the top, 5 down the right, and a 5 down the middle. Says we have 2 choices for 5s here. We have a 5 across the left column and a 5 across the top. Tells me we've got 2 choices for a 5 here. We've got a 5 across the left column and right through the center. So we've got 2 choices for 5s here. So our 5s are all marked out. Okay. Alright. Time to get a little organized here and start going through some numbers. Alright, we are floating around. My eyeballs are just going all over looking for some good numbers here. So I'm looking for my 1s. Let's start with 1s. I see only one spot that has a 1, and I'm following that through this way, this way, this way. Still leaves lots of choices for 1s. Let's go to our 2s. Over here in this bottom left cube, I see a 2 in the left column, and I see a 2 across the top row. 2 there for us. We follow that up to the top cube. We've got a 2 in the left column, and we've got a 2 across the middle column. So any one of these 3 can still be our 2. Alright, in this center cube here, we have a 2 across the center row and the top row. So we've got 2 spots for 2s here. Looking in this center cube, we've got a 2 across the bottom. Still got 3 choices there. And in this top cube, we don't have any eliminations at all. Okay, this far top right cube, we've got a 2 up the right column. So we know it's in the middle here. Now this gives us our ghost row. So no 2s in this right column or the center column, and no 2 across the bottom row. So we have a little bit of a choice there. Kind of helps narrow it down in there. Okay, alright, so I like this where it's got just 3 spots left. That really helps us identify some. We've got a 4 right here. Okay, this 4 comes down, which tells me that one of these 2 spots have to be our 4. Follow that up. We've got a 4 in the left column because of the ghost row, 4 in the middle column, and a 4 in the middle row. We got 2 spots for our 4 over here. Did I skip 3s? I think I skipped 3s, didn't I? I did. I went straight to 4s. That tells you how my brains are working here. Here's our 3 down the middle, 3 across the bottom, 2 spots here for the 3. We have a 3 across the left, a 3 across the bottom. We still have 3 choices here for our 3. We have a 3 right on the left side, and we have a 3 down the middle. So we still have 3 choices here. We've got a 3 in the left column, a 3 in the middle column, and a 3 in the middle row. So we only have 2 choices here. Alright, and this last cube we have a 3 down the right column, a 3 down the bottom row. So we still have 4 choices here. That could be a 3. Alright, let's go back and look at those 4s. How are we doing? 4, 4. 4 comes across, we still have 3 choices. If we have a 4 across the top row and the left column, we still have 3 choices for our 4. If we follow this 4 down, that covers this left column, we still have 3 choices for our 4. And these 3 cubes here don't have any 4 eliminations, so we got 3 for this one, we've got 5 in this one, and almost every spot here could be a 4. Alright. Let's look at those 5s. Let's see how we go. We've got our 5 identified here, 5, 5. We've got our 5 identified in this cube, our 5 and our 5. We've got our 5, 5, and 5. So all of our 5s are identified. We've got our 6 in the bottom row. We've got our 6 in the top row. Now we know where this one is in the middle cube here. It's got to be right there, only spot left. Okay, great. Now in this bottom cube, we're just following the 6 down, and I see, well, if it can't be in one of these 2 spots, well, that is the only spot left. Now that also tells me what the other number this one is going to be, which is going to be a 1 or a 4. So that locks it for this whole column. We've got a 1 and a 4, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a 5, 6, 7. Now where can our 8 be? It looks like, okay, there's an 8 here, so one of these 2 is our 8, and then one of these 2 is our 9. So that column is pretty well locked, so we can throw those 8s in there. So see, that column's all done. Alright, so now we've got a 6 down the left column, a 6 in the middle column, so we're going to have a possible 6 right here in this right column. We've got our 6 across the bottom, we've got our 6 in the middle column. So now with just single elimination, that's the only place left that can be a 6. Now one of these 2 were going to be our 9, so that resolves the 9. Now remember, we had one of these 2 as a 6, so that resolves this 6. And we've got a 1 here, we've got 1 here, we've got 1 here. So it looks like all of our 6s are resolved. Let's look at our 7s here. We've got our 7 identified. One of these 2. Now the cool thing about this right here is, see these 3 spots? We can tell what these 3 numbers are going to be, which is going to tell us what these 2 numbers, the possibilities, are going to be. So what are the 3 numbers that we're missing here? We're missing a 1, a 2, and a 4. So we know that there's a 1, 2, and a 4. The other number that we're missing out here is an 8. Because there's a 7 and there's an 8. So this one, possibly an 8. This one, possibly an 8. These 2 are locked, 7 and 8. They can't be anything else. And in this middle row, we've got a 1, 2, and a 4, and here's a 2, and here's a 4. So we can mark this down just a little bit here. We can do a 1 and a 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, and a 4. So that helps to identify what those 3 are going to be. Alright, so we've got our 7, 7, 7, 7, and our 7, and our 7's identified. Okay, so all of our 7s are marked. Let's look at our 8s. Okay, so let's see here. Looks like we've got an 8 here and an 8 here. Alright, now we've got 3 here. I'll come back and look at those. Let's finish our numbers out, because sometimes that helps us to resolve quite a bit. Let's look for our 9s. Okay, so we've got 3 9s across the top, which is great. We've got a 9 down the left column, down up on the right column, so we know one of these 2 is our 9. We've got our 9 identified here. We've got a 9 down the right column, 9 down the middle, and a 9 through the middle row, so we know that one of these 2, do my stretch there with my finger, is a 9. No 9 here in the middle row because of this 9, and no 9 down the middle column, which also says that one of these two is our 9, which gives us a ghost row. So we cannot have any other 9s in this column, and we don't have any 9s in this column. So 9 has to be one of these two, and check out that 9 is already there. So that is where our 9 is going to be. Now this 9 then helps us solve this one. Well, this one has to be a 9. So we only had 5 in 2 spots. Well, we lost it, so now here's our 5, and then here's our 9. 8. Alright, so we got our 5. We've got that marked out. Now out of the 2 spots that we had our 5, see we've got a 5 here and a 5 here, so this is the only one left that can be a 5. They start to just cascade. So no 5 here, because we just put a 5 in that row. So now we have a 5 here. Now down here in the bottom we have a 5. Well, can't be in this column, so 5 goes here. Now when we go over here, one of these two have to be 5. Well, it cannot be this one anymore, which means it's this one. Now when we do this 5, we're going to solve this 2 and this 9, because this spot can only be one of these numbers here. So 5, 2, and 9, right? Okay. Alright, now look, we're going to look up, see if we resolved any others with those. So there's that 9. We got 2 spots that can be a 9. Well, that one has to be our 9, so we can take 9 away from there. Alright, we're just chugging away here. So what 2 numbers are we missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and an 8. We're missing a 4 and an 8. So I'm going to look vertically here, and I see here's a 4, so this cannot be a 4. There's our 8. There's our 4. That row is complete. Alright, so we say, oh, no, I meant to take that 8 out. I'm sorry, wrong. I hit the shift key, not the control key. Okay, but that can still be one of our 7s. What are the 2 numbers we're missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, here's really neat. See how we had this ghost row here? No other 4 can exist because it's here locked. So this one cannot be a 4. Means this one has to be a 4. Makes that our 7. Okay, now we know one of these two is a 7. Well, it can't be in this column because we just finished it. So now that that is a 7, we only have one spot left that can be a 3, one spot left to be an 8. Alright, so now they're cascading quickly. What numbers are we missing here? Looks like we're missing a 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2. Okay, alright. We are just going through. We've got our 1 and our 4. So that means this one here should be a 1 and a 4. See here in this row, 1 and a 4, 1 and a 4. Well, we've got our 4 right here, so this cannot be a 4, but it can be a 1. 4, 1, there we go. Now what 2 numbers are we missing here? Looks like a 3 and an 8. Okay, we don't have that one resolved just yet, so we'll just mark those as a 3 and an 8. Okay, now we've got 2 numbers missing here. We've got a 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and a 1. A 3 and a 1 are missing. 3 and a 1. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Now I just noticed this here. I'm looking at these 3s and 1s, and I see up here in this top cube, I see a 3 in the top row, and I see a 3 in the middle row. So if I need a 3 up here, this is the only spot left that can be a 3. So I just put a 3 and a 1 here. It can't be here, so we've got a 3 and a 1. And that also only leaves one spot that could be a 4. Okay, now there's only one number missing here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, now we have 2 in one of these spots. Well, we just solved that row. Alright, and we'll follow it down, see if it cascades the next solution here. Okay, not just yet. What 2 numbers are we missing here? Looks like a 1 and an 8. Okay, now I noticed, see how this row is also missing 2 numbers, which is a 1 and an 8. And I noticed right here, look at this, there's a 1. So this one is our 8, this one is our 1, this one is our 8. Okay, oh, now we've got a 2 here, and these are 1s and 2s. So this one has to be our 1, this one has to be our 2. And we're missing a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That cube is now complete. We're missing one number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're missing an 8. Alright, so in this row here we're missing a 1 and a 4. And I'm looking here, this is going to be a 1 and a 4. There's our 4. 1 and our 4. Okay, so we can hit the right button now. There we go. Now we've got our 1 here, so 1, 2, and our 2 resolves over here. And what number are we missing here? 1, 2, looks like our 3. What number are we missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now our 3 and our 8, and we see we've got a 3 and an 8 here, so we'll swap those 3 and 8. Alright, so a lot of single elimination there, not too complicated on the resolution. We did have to look 2 or 3 spaces ahead to find some of those resolutions that could only be 2 numbers. If you're looking in the rows and the columns and see that it eliminates it with just one step ahead. So medium puzzle, not too tough, but good to get the brain working again back in Sudoku. So I hope you guys enjoy the puzzle. Recommend getting some hobbies and playing games, or do what you like. Enjoy it, stretch your mind, have some fun. Would welcome comments and challenges if you've got them. And we'll catch you guys later.